Today's video, we are going to talk about what is a good cart abandonment rate that you should shoot for with your e-commerce website, for your ad campaigns, and etc. Shopify, whatever you're using for an e-commerce platform to run your e-commerce business, okay? If you want to make a lot of money, or at least as much money as you can make with your traffic that you're driving to your website, okay? I'm going to discuss this exactly in this video. What's a good rate? How to actually then drop the cart abandonment rate so you end up with more revenue per visit to your site. So you end up on the bottom end of this range here and not at the top end of the range, which most people are going to stay at because they just don't simply know how to optimize for a lower cart abandonment rate. So with that said, getting into the content now, I drew a chart here to demonstrate in a more simplistic way, if you will, what the typical person is going to have as far as a cart abandonment rate, and then what the super marketers are essentially going to have that they can get to when they do all the stuff they could possibly do to get somebody to reconsider their purchases. So if you want to start up here, which is about 80% of the people that are adding something to cart, not buying, and get closer to this 30% range, which is the most ideal here, then you need to have this information I'm sharing with you here today. And I drew this as like a progressive line because ultimately all the stuff that I'm sharing with you here today, all 5 of these individual things, you're not going to be executing all at once. Unless you're like a big company with unlimited resources to throw out and do all this stuff at once, and you got managers to manage each of the components, it's going to be, each thing is going to drop progressively your cart abandonment rate a little bit more, until you're at the ending destination 30% cart abandonment rate that you want to be at to make the most money and have the most potential to drive traffic to your site that'll be profitable still to you at the end of the day, because this is really what it's about. So naturally, you could go ahead and try all this stuff at once and take my word for it and get it all done. Or you can not take my word for it, do each one individually, and see how the changes in your cart abandonment rate happen with each individual one. I can say with confidence, if you do them all, they will work the way that I'm saying here, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If you want to see it work for yourself, it's better to do each one individually as well, because you can physically see each one working versus doing them all and then you say, I don't really think that one does anything, because then you'll know each one contributed to this overall lowest cart abandonment rate you could possibly get. To implement, some things are easier. So you can pick and choose what you want to do. There's going to be stuff here that's going to be, they're all going to contribute to a lower cart abandonment rate, but they all kind of work similarly in terms of dropping it. Whereas some of these things are way easier than others. So obviously you would want to start with the easy stuff and then work your way down the list, reinvesting the money that you're saving back into the rest of the strategies, or executing the rest of the strategies. So with that said, the ways to optimize your cart abandonment rate here. To start with, everybody knows about this first one, but I will bring it up anyway because it does actually work. That is cart abandonment emails. If you're using Shopify or something like that, the software now, Shopify's platform, allows you to do cart abandonment emails by just having that feature turned on where it'll automatically send out an email to the person who starts out the cart abandonment or starts adding stuff to their cart and checking out and then abandons. So naturally there's other third-party tools where you can do this, where you can customize the message and you can start to really start getting a large effect from this. If you want to get the extra bonus, if you will, drop in conversion rate or cart abandonment rates, if you want, you could say, hey, I know you were looking at this item and you really should be checking this item out because it's actually better than other items in this category. And we believe so much in it that you should have it that we're also going to give you a 5% discount if you actually, within the next 60 minutes, actually actually finish your purchase. You could start to get into stuff like that. That builds urgency, builds more of like a legitimate reason for them to actually go through with the purchase, and you can get even more. So those are the main kind of techniques to spice up a cart abandonment email versus just saying, hey, you forgot this, buy it, which will get you some, but not all the potential results. You'll get, though, easily 10% reduction in your cart abandonment rate just having the email saying, hey, you forgot your order, and then sending that out 2 or 3 times. If you want to get potentially another 5%, add in the other elements that I talked about where you're saying why you want to actually reconsider this item, i.e. it's better than the other competition in that particular market. It's better than this product and this product on the market because it's actually cheaper for the same amount of power or capability or whatever. And offering them an incentive to go ahead and act on your call that, have a call to action being, here's an extra discount code you can use in the next XYZ amount of time that we'll give you. The discount code could be used without a time limiter. Adding a time limiter is going to add another layer of difficulty to what you're doing, because obviously if you're going to have it only work for 60 minutes, that's not like a default thing you could automate so easily with Shopify. So what I would recommend you do actually in that case is actually just say it's only going to work 60 minutes, send them the discount code, and in the discount code, if you want the best response, the code should be like cart abandonment 5 for 5% off your order if you order within the next 60 minutes. That's going to be the best way to basically do that I know of. With that said, going into the second one here, a lot of this stuff is just different channels to do, and it's another channel to communicate with somebody, the same message as you did through email, but it'll get you more sales because a lot of people don't check their email, or they get a lot of spam email and they don't see your email. You know this if you're an email marketer. You can go Google this. What's the typical email open rates that you should expect from email marketing? And it's like 20% open rate. Well, if you're sending a cart abandonment email and there's only a 20% chance they're going to open it, naturally, if you're going to communicate with somebody through phone as well, you're going to get more of an uptake rate from the same exact message because it's going to get seen more. So going along with that, I would take the same message, whatever you ultimately end up using for the email, putting that into a banner ad, having that banner ad show up through the Google Display Network. It's going to be very inexpensive to market to your cart abandonment audience because it's only going to be a few people like per month. It might only be like 100 people per month. It'll cost you $5 a month to advertise to them, basically nothing. And you'll get such a high return out of that in terms of the reduction in the cart abandonment rates. I would run the same message/ad over on Facebook as well as any other platforms, because the more platforms it's on, the higher the chance that that person you want to see it will see it. That means Twitter. You could even also add this on LinkedIn if it's relevant to your market, and so forth. So cart abandonment ads themselves will drop your cart abandonment rate another 10% or so. Then you can get into with the third thing on my list here, calling users up on the telephone. Now, nobody talks about this. And the reason why they don't talk about it is people are damn freaking lazy. They want to be able to make money without doing jack shit for it. If you actually just call the person up when they abandon the cart and you say, hey, I know you loaded up your cart with this. If you have any last minute questions or need advice as to whether this will work for your application or not, or it's the best product for you and your application based upon the other products that are out on the market, let me know because I'm a XYZ product expert. You'll get people to start talking a high percentage of the time because the other competitors aren't going to be having usually product experts on staff like that. I mean, you go ahead and call your competitors, ask technical questions about your products. You're probably not going to get answers. It's going to be some bonehead answering the phone. They're just going to be appreciative that they get to talk to a product expert, if you will, which is, by the way, the same reason why live chat works so well if you actually man the chat with a knowledgeable person, because there's so few people doing that because it's expensive, obviously, to hire somebody who's not a bonehead to answer the phone. And but if you have somebody answering the phone that's not an idiot, why not just have them call up every single person who abandons cart? At least the people who have loaded up their cart with a bulk order. Now that in itself, I truly don't get. if somebody's going to buy $1,000 worth of product and you're normally selling your product for $100 a pop, and you don't want to call this person up, you're basically just saying, oh, I don't need money that much. I'm good. So you could call people up, and that would be what you're going to do. And then you start the conversation the way that I said. You don't hard pitch, because this is where people would screw it up. They want money so bad and if they are not lazy, then they try to do the bare minimum when they call people up, saying, hey, we'll give you a discount if you buy. No. Start a conversation with them. Why? Because people don't trust salespeople. You got to get people's trust and respect first. Secondly, the more time that you talk to them, the more likely they are going to be to buy. And you could easily chart this, and you could see calls that last 2 minutes versus 20 minutes, what the likelihood of them buying at 20 minutes is. So all you're trying to do is just get them talking. And maybe it doesn't make sense for a $10 product. This may not work for everybody, but certainly if you're selling something for hundreds of dollars, you damn well should be calling every single one of those people up if you care about actually making the most money. But anyway, by the end of the conversation, you say, similar like what you would do through the email and through the ads, we're going to give you 5% off if you use this discount code. What I would do is I would say I'd set it up just for you. It's good for 60 minutes. I like you. Here's a discount code. Use it in the next 60 minutes. It'll work for you, give you 5% off, which will give them a reason to buy now versus later instead of procrastinating. Ultimately, the killer of all sales is procrastination. People that have good intentions to buy on Friday when they get paid often won't buy because they'll get distracted, they'll forget, they'll blow the money on something else. You want to lock that sale down now, even if it takes 5% out of the money that you would get from that customer. And I don't care how certain they are and how much they say that they're going to buy on Friday. You're better off locking it down for 5% less up front than not. You'll make more money overall that way, even with the reduction in margin. So, and just to be clear again, on the ads, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to offer them a discount code. Why? Because if you have an ad that shows up for someone that says, here's the product, buy it, or even if you abandoned your cart, buy this product, it's not going to be that effective. The super effective method is buy this product in the next 60 minutes using this specific discount code, which is exactly what we do. You'll get 5% off, and then they'll click through and take direct action, and it'll be super profitable. So you have that. Item 4 here, SMS messages. So there's actual apps where you can add to Shopify or your e-commerce platforms that will send out an SMS cart abandonment message. It's similar to what you'd say through email, even though through email, though, you have more room to talk, and you can send images and whatnot. And like media, rich media and stuff like that. Technically, through a text message, you can send images per se. But with that said, anyway, just whatever is working, again, like I said before, a lot of this is just taking whatever is working and you apply it to the other channels. Well, SMS is one that you can apply a message to. For what I've seen, our clients that did it, it's the simple message is the more effective one because people aren't going to read a bunch of stuff in an SMS message. You say, hey, I noticed, hi, this is Carl. I noticed that you had actually, were about to purchase this XYZ item today. Just let you know, if you have any questions, you can call me up. Here's my cell phone number. So a lot of people will call. If they call, you pretty much got the sale. And with that, if there's anything that I can do that will help you reconsider purchasing, let me know as well. I might be able to get you a discount, etc. Just let me know. That message right there works extremely effective. You could obviously just offer the discount code in that case, but a lot of times they'll just buy without the discount code. And if they want a discount, at least you know it now, and you're not going to lose the sale over a 5% discount that they would have tipped them over the edge, or 10%, even though 5% wasn't enough, and so forth. So, and the reason why that's effective is because in an SMS message, people don't want to be seeing advertisement garbage. You want to send something that looks like a real human sent it, if you will. This same idea could be applied to email, by the way, as well. Instead of sending a regular cart abandonment offer that looks clearly like an automated message, if you send that same kind of formatted message in an email, hey, this is Carl, blah, 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 it will also work better. The problem is you're going to have a custom system to do that. And the out of the box, feature for cart abandonment, what Shopify has as a part of their native system, and the typical cart abandonment systems that are out there aren't going to allow you to have that. One of the benefits of sending an email out that just has text is it ends up in the primary tab of Gmail, which is super important. If you your click-through rates on your emails are much higher when you get into the primary tab. And with 70% of people using Gmail nowadays, literally, that one thing can be the one thing that doubles the effectiveness of your email campaign, your email cart abandonment campaign that you have going. It's just going to take some custom work to set that up. That's the type of thing I should actually create, is something that would look like a human email that would be sent out to cart abandonment people, because I know it would, obviously, for everybody, get it to work better than the typical stuff that's going to go to the promos tab and not get seen. But anyway, so just some general ideas. If you want to take it all the way, get all the money, that's how you're going to get all the money. Because humans like hearing messages from humans, not ads. Finally, so we'll get though on an SMS, get you another 10% reduction in your cart abandonment. And then finally, generalized remarketing. So if they're looking at XYZ product, you show them an ad with that XYZ product on it. Then you also show them a banner ad later on through Google Display Network, through Facebook remarketing, durability tests, also through YouTube remarketing, through video advertising. I love durability and side-by-side product comparison tests. Why? Because that is the top information that they're looking for to make a decision on who to buy from. Because most of the time, if you're going to get a customer, let's be honest here, they're trying to decide between 3 or 4 or 5 products in the category. Well, if you go ahead and you do a legitimate test between all your products, assuming your product's the best, which it should be, if not, make it the best. And then you just show how it's better, and then you have that and you make sure it's seen by that person that abandoned the cart, they're going to be considerably more likely to buy from you now. And it's not that hard to take 4 or 5 of the leading products in a category that competes with your product and show them tested side by side in terms of durability, longevity, effectiveness, power rating, whatever. Put that into a video and start having it seen by people who left the site and while they're on YouTube. And then I'll have banner ads in that case that will pitch the video. So that they click on the banner ad, it sends them to the video. Why do I do that? Because video anymore is going to sell better than a text, article, if you will. Because it doesn't take as much energy to digest information in video format. And it's more engaging and keeps people locked in easier. Especially with people having low attention spans anymore. Or at the very least, you send them to a dedicated page on your site that says, this is the best product comparison video that you're going to find about and that you should watch before buying XYZ, and then show the video. That's another way that we do it as well. But anyway, that works so well. Just by doing the 1-2 combination of the product comparison and showing an ad that has what I call like a branded ad that shows the product and the main selling features, increases cars horsepower by 30 horsepower, $49.95. So like the main distilled down message that the reason why they buy, having a second ad like that. But if you do a 1-2 ad combination like that, you'll drop the cart abandonment rate another 10%. Because even if you have this information on the site, not everybody's going to see it, not everybody's going to remember it. Through the power of sevens in marketing, says people don't take a message seriously enough until they've seen it at least 7 times. So if you have an ad out there that repeats that distilled down message that would convince them over and over again, which it literally costs a fraction of a penny to have a banner ad show up for somebody after they leave your site, they're going to be more likely to buy when they eventually buy. Because a lot of people think they get to your site and they're either going to buy right away or not. Well, that might be true for a $20 broom, but more than half of people aren't going to buy on the first visit to your site. So the other half of your sales, legitimately speaking, is going to come from your follow-up game. If you have one, is it going to be a good game or not a good game? Most people in your space aren't even going to do any follow-up because they don't think it works. They say, oh, nobody's clicking through the ad and buying right away, so it sucks. When reality is, all these people are going to be buying from somebody, and because they saw your ad 50 times with 50 different effective messages of why you're the best, the day that they initially do their research and the day they buy, you're going to end up with that sale at twice the rate you would otherwise if you hit them with good information after good information after good information. If people do any follow-up at all, it's like, buy, are you ready to buy yet? No, how about now? No, how about now? No, how about now? And they just do that stupid shit. They don't actually think about what the user would legitimately want to see. They just want their money, and they want it now, and they don't want to work for it. Just be the one guy in your space who actually thinks about the customer and what they want and what would help them legitimately make an accurate decision that will help them. And people will end up buying from you as a result of it. People just, they want to do the bare minimum to convince somebody to buy and then just expect them to buy. No, do as much as you possibly can to communicate why they should buy. And then everybody will just buy from you because you've done that. You've helped the user more than anybody else. Every single thing that you could think of, the question would have a customer would have a question about, in terms of how long the product would last, or like warranty. What not only just what your product warranty is, but why your product warranty is a better warranty than the competition's. Or just think of all the most common questions. The best way to do this, by the way, is you ask your salespeople, if you're not the one on the phone, and just write down the top 20 most asked questions and then come up with a banner ad that addresses each one, that sends them to a custom page or a custom video, and then just have all that shit going after they leave every time, and you're going to end up with way more sales. But as it's tied to cart abandonment, if you do these two things like I just said, you'll drop that cart abandonment down another 10% on top of everything else. So to sum it all up, you can go from 80% to 30% cart abandonment rate if you execute on all these things, even on a moderately good level. If you go ahead and you do all this stuff super, super good, there's no reason why you can't go a bit further down than this as well. You're going to get diminishing returns at, past the point of, the middle of the road, level on everything that I went. But if you want to go all the way with everything I said, you could get this down to 20%. Very easily. So is it worth it for you to get the extra little bit? Well, when you talk about generating $5 million a year in business and you go from 30 to 20 here, okay, not everybody gets to the cart, but that in and itself could be another $100,000 worth of profit a year because that money comes out of nowhere. You didn't have to do anything else for it once all this stuff is set up. Yes, there's an ongoing cost of maintaining the stuff that I mentioned, but very, very small. It's up to you to decide if you want that extra money for yourself or not. But anyway, that answers the question though, what's a good cart abandonment rate if you want to make a lot of money, okay? Closer to the 30% you can get, or even a tad lower than that, you're going to make a lot more money in your business. You may not focus on it when you're a newer business, but certainly once you start to become a much more mature business, you're running out of ways to easily just run another ad that will get you that 8 or 10 to 1 return that you're looking for. This is a really good place to go next. That is stuff on your website that'll make your site convert better, / the stuff that I just talked about. And they kind of go hand in hand, because if this remarketing stuff, you take the stuff that you've produced for your remarketing campaign, put it onto your website, now your website's also going to convert better. But you're now ringing out more from every visitor that comes to your site, because, just like on every, business that we're working with, at the beginning, it's easy to scale up sales because there's obvious places to advertise. Well, there's going to be less and less, the more you try to scale your ad budget, the more you're going into places where a person's less and less of a good prospect, and you're trying to figure out how to get somebody who's a lukewarm prospect to buy. Well, there's just a point in there. Usually it's year 2 or 3 or 4 of scaling up a company. It's easier to focus on how to get more out of the traffic you have than to get more traffic dumped into the funnel you have. And then naturally, when you get all this stuff super efficient, now you can go back to dumping traffic back into the top, the top end of your sales funnel and your website. people, get people that haven't heard of you before, and now that's going to be more likely to work. So it legitimately makes it, you're being hard on yourself unnecessarily if all you try to do is try to get traffic that's not as qualified to find that next place to run an ad and get that to work just by trying to test your ad placements and the ads themselves, when you could actually make the bottom of the funnel that you have more efficient and then try to find a new ad that will work, given it's going to be a lot easier to do it then. So what I always do when I'm scaling up an e-commerce company is legitimately at the beginning, scaling up new traffic sources is the easiest way to get more money. And then it's going to get to where we're going to focus on our site, get all that polished up, and then we're going to go back to dumping ad traffic back onto the business. In that order, that's your typical way to scale up an e-commerce company from scratch. So anyway, with that said, if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or a comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should, as this channel is going to demonstrate to you or tell you how to make millions of dollars running ads, online ads for your business every year. And I can say that confidently because we do it for our clients here and have about 50 clients that we do this for on a guaranteed basis, where our agency is the only agency that offers a contingency-based ad management service. The stuff that works, I'm giving to you here for free on this channel. If you want to do the stuff yourself, it's free for you to use. I give you all the stuff that we use to guarantee results for our clients on this channel. Therefore, you should definitely pay attention to it if that's your goal. Whereas most of the other information you find online, 99% of it is people that aren't really running ads like that. They sell courses, they ain't running ads. They're sitting on a beach somewhere pretending like they know what they're talking about. Or they're trying to make money off of advertising revenue and doing the same thing. So it's not real information. You need to run ads on a large scale basis to even know how to make money with ads. You can't just read Google's documentation, speculate. That's just a bunch of crap. So therefore, you should subscribe already if you haven't, and subscribe now. You can also find my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog. On my blog, I have specific strategies that we use to guarantee results for our clients with the step-by-step instructions, with the screenshots, the whole shebang. If you want to see how to make good money running ads for your business, you should also check that out as well. If you like the channel, you're going to like the blog even more. Furthermore, if you want somebody to just do the strategies I talk about on this channel for you, so you don't have to do any of it, just write a check to get the strategies implemented. That's exactly what I do for clients at our advertising firm. It pays for itself because it works, and we do not charge a fee unless we are going to get a certain set amount. We can do all the heavy lifting for you if you don't want to do all this stuff yourself. And because we do not charge our clients a fee until we get you the set results we promised you up front, there's really no reason to do it. We're literally paying ourselves out of the increase in profit we promise you and get you on your campaigns up front. The catch, though, to all of this is we got to know we can get great results with your stuff before we agree to take you on as a client. We don't take on just any client. But if you want to see if we can work together, reach out to my firm at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to give you a free assessment to see what kind of potential you have with your stuff and what you're doing. If you're not looking to work with an ad agency per se, you should definitely contact us anyway, because maybe we've worked in your niche market before and gotten all the results that you're looking for, and then as a result of that, sell you the ad templates, landing page templates, campaign templates that work for your market to copy and paste into your account and get the same results we are in a different geographic area that you're in. With that, we've worked in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years of running this advertising firm. The chances are good then, as a result of that we've already done all the work to figure out what works the best in your market, and you could just use it. Okay, and we would of course tell you what results we got with the template up front, so there is no risk and getting value out of the template itself, and we did all the hard work for you, literally speaking. And these templates work so well, we got people starting whole other businesses around them, whether they want to get into e-commerce for the first time, which the best way to do that is just to sell a product that we know how to sell already using a proven sales funnel, that you can easily get that product for China and sell it in a country that our client's never going to be in, or starting a lead generation business where you start generating like local service leads, sell the leads to people in those markets, and it's doable because you're getting the leads at a cheap rate because you're using the exact funnel that we spent years building up in a certain niche market already to get those results. So anyway, we've had several people do both of those different scenarios before. If you're interested in an opportunity like that, you can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.